Yeah, how y'all doing? We're back. We're back on a 2 week sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? Your boy back though. So we're gonna jump into this thing right on into this thing. Yeah. So first we're gonna go over college football is back. Who's gonna be the better Florida team? It's always been the three: Miami, Florida, or Florida State. Oh man, we got to talk about Jackson State a little bit. Donovan Mitchell. I know it's football season, but we got to go into this one. Donovan Mitchell got traded to the Cavs. Sorry, Knicks. And Michael Jordan get the last laugh at Scottie Pippen, all that right after this. Yes, yes, yes. It's that time of year again, man. High school football has already started, and now college is back. Oh man, it feels so good. You know what I'm saying? You feel so good when that happens because once basketball season is over, I'm not a big baseball fan, so sports kind of just die down. You hear some stuff about track and field. And you see the preseason of football. That's kind of boring, to be honest. Who really watches that for the most part? Because the guys out there don't want to get hurt. It's kind of like watching the Pro Bowl. But I mean, you do get to see some first year players who trying to make the team, different things like that. So it's a little interesting. You get the cuts, the trades, all different things like that. So that is a little interesting. But now, I mean, college football is back, man. Pro football will be back very soon. And that's all fun. That's all fun and games. That's when the things start. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna jump on into this thing. We got my boy, special guest tonight. You know, he just hopped on here. You know what I mean? Send him out the link, send it out to a few fellas. But so we're gonna bring Mr. Deuce Andretti right on. So y'all welcome him to the show.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
You know, just taking a 2 week sabbatical, getting back into this thing.
Okay,
And
okay. I see you.
right when college football for the most part just start up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
it did. Yes, it did.
so I'm pretty sure most people know my team. That's the U. You know what I mean?
Oh, you like
So
the U?
we
Okay.
yes sir, yes sir. Who's your team, by the way?
Notre Dame.
College. Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Fighting
right.
Irish. Notre
I
Dame.
did know that. Yeah. You know what? Actually,
You know that. We
Notre
got the
Dame
best
is one of my
rivalry.
favorite teams. Huh? Yeah,
Yeah, no,
y'all
I
got
like
us with
Miami. I
Doug
like
Flutie
Miami
back in the
too.
day. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know why I like
I
Notre
like
Dame.
Miami too.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry. It's actually one of the oldest rivalries in college football. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah? That I didn't know.
We've both beat each other for national titles, so it's kind of
Yeah.
there's some bad blood there. It goes way back. The Catholics versus convicts. That's
Oh yeah, I
that
remember
whole series. That whole thing. Yeah, they spurred that back up. Um,
that. So
yeah, just
I play
recently.
y'all though
I
anymore.
mean, we
Well, y'all do play ACC.
no. Well, the last time we played y'all did beat. I was at that game actually. Like I was on the sidelines for that game on Notre Dame sidelines. Y'all killed us that game down there in Miami. I've
Was
never seen a bunch of kids look so scared in my life.
this must have been
But
back early 2000.
no, it was recent. It was recent. It was with Brian Kelly. It's one of the years we were supposed to be like a college football playoff team or something like that, and he kind of just blew it. Just like he blew the game the other night for LSU. But you know, we won't send too many shots at BK.
Yeah,
We'll go let him live. We're
we're
gonna
gonna
let
kind
him live a little
of
bit.
that as we talk about the three Florida teams. But that's really what we get into the first topic. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna be the better team this year? Miami, Florida, Florida State. You know, me personally, I hate Florida State. Florida is okay. If I had to root for either one of them, I'm going for Florida. I can't stand Florida State. To me,
But
they're
it's
kind of
okay.
like the Cowboys. They're paper champs every year.
Well, take your personal feelings out of it. If you were just looking at the
Yeah,
teams, who would you take, Florida or Florida State?
I think I'll go with Florida. Hey, they got
Okay.
AR-15 over there. Haven't watched them. I really don't follow them, so I don't know what's really going on. But you got AR-15. You know, he's all the buzz. So I don't know
Yeah.
what person Florida State has. I'm pretty sure they have a few. but not really sure. And I think Florida has been the closest thing to the three teams. Has been the best team in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Florida has.
I'll say I'll have to go with. I mean, I for some reason I think Florida State is a good team overall, um, but I think Florida's more talented.
Yeah,
I think they just
I
have a more talented football team. So it's hard. But if I'm gonna take any team out of the state, I honestly like Miami. I think Miami has a good shot to be pretty dominant within the next couple of years. Even this year, they have a shot to be pretty good. Um, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see. The thing is, too, is conference. Like Florida State's what in the ACC, Miami's in the ACC. Florida's in the SEC,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a different that team's built a little bit different, you know. So it's hard to kind of count Florida out, but it's going to be interesting for who wins the state this year, you know,
Yeah.
and
I
who
mean,
wins the state this year gets all those recruits.
yeah, I
So
think the only thing that really the start off that worries me with Miami is always quarterback for me. I think
right,
we have been letting talent run out the building, run out the state, go to Alabama, go to some of these kids in Miami want to go to Florida State. And, back in the day, it wasn't like that. They want to stay homegrown. They will ride the
well, a lot of them
bench.
going, yeah, like you said, Alabama. They're going to all these SEC, other like Mizzou. They're going all over the place. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. All this Florida talent ain't sticking to Florida.
Outside of Miami, I'm sorry, outside of Alabama, I don't know why we letting all these people get away. I
Right.
understand you might get a couple go to Florida State or Florida, but they're going to, like you say, Mizzou. These people are going USC. They're going all over the place. How do we let them
Yeah.
get out of Miami? That's my biggest problem.
And it's all the big name receivers and everything. It's like, well, this guy went to Alabama for school. It's like, yeah, he went to Alabama, but he was from South Florida. All the
Is that,
receivers know each other. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know, all the DBs know each other. They've been playing each other since they were kids. It's like for them, they're seeing the players that they're going to play against when they get to the NFL, you know, because they played
that,
with them. They
is
grew
that,
up playing against them. So it to me, it's, I'm not saying like, you know, there's not other talent in other states, but for the most part, yeah, I don't think that I was very disappointed that Miami let a lot of that talent slip away the last few years because that's why Alabama is so good. You know, that's why Georgia's so good. I
yeah.
mean, those schools are just recruiting heavy in South Florida and they're getting some of the best players to go. And, you know, I think that once that breaks up a little bit, which I think that's why Alabama will struggle a little bit more here in the next, and they won't be as dominant because Miami's coming back, Florida's coming back, Florida State looks like they're making the right moves to somewhat maybe be back within the next 10 years. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be very competitive and the recruiting will definitely be very interesting moving forward. But yeah,
I
it's
think
hard.
just looking at the games from yesterday, Miami blew out, who was that? BCC. How can
BCU,
you
yeah.
judge off of that? That really, really, Bethune Cookman
But
College.
well, they did what they were supposed to do. 70
Of
points. I
course.
mean, that seems like around par with what any other school would do with them. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So to me, it wasn't like they did what they supposed to do, like you say. Florida, what did they win on the last play or last drive or something like that? I
yeah,
didn't.
they won on the
Unfortunately, I didn't
last
watch
drive.
any games. I just watched the highlights. Say what now?
Yeah, they won on the last drive.
Yeah, that was that the pump fake AR did on him and threw that thing in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a
That was,
play. I didn't
that,
get to
that
see it,
was
but
gross.
I think I heard about it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that
a
was.
great player. He's a great player. I mean, he's going to be an NFL guy. You can tell. You know, we have to see how they develop him passing wise because he's going to have to do that to beat better teams. You know,
Definitely
and
get
he's
that.
great with his legs. Don't get me wrong. Like he's going to definitely make some plays with his legs, but he's going to have to throw the ball a little better.
Yeah, I'm eager
You
to
know.
see all these guys next week. They gonna be on my radar. I'm definitely going to watch this weekend. Man, I was just tied up with everything. Honestly, I forgot that the
Yeah, I
season was.
feel you.
Yeah. And
Me
then
too.
Florida
I
State.
didn't catch a lot of games either.
Yeah, Florida State ended up beating LSU by 1 point. But I really can't judge that either because LSU last year was below 500.
Right.
Florida did beat the number 7 ranked team. I think it was Utah.
Yeah, but I'm looking at these ranked teams this year, and I'm seeing a lot of overrated shit out there.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how Utah's ranked 7. I don't see how Oregon's ranked 11. I don't see
Well,
how a lot of
were
these teams are
11.
ranked.
The way they got
Huh?
tore out the frame. I say
Well, I'm
Oregon
just saying.
were 11.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But there's a lot of teams that I think are overrated just based off what they did last year. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to think people transferred, kids went to NFL, people graduated. You can't account for these teams looking the same. You know, even with Clemson, I was watching a little bit of the Clemson game just now. It's like they don't look. I mean,
Chris.
their defense looks pretty good, but I mean, they're playing Georgia Tech. It's like if you're not able to dominate really Georgia Tech, I don't know how you're gonna look this season. They look one dimensional. Like they're gonna run the ball. They got one receiver that's pretty good, and the
But I
quarterback
think
suspect.
that's a test to some teams. Miami right now play weaker teams. At least that first game of the season, to get their bearings straight. Um, that
Mhm.
might be a thing with Clemson, and maybe game 2, or maybe even this game they'll kick it up in the second half, or whatever the case might be. Because I was looking at it, was in the first quarter and it was still ugly.
Yeah, I mean they score. I think they're 14 now. It's 14-0. I mean they just don't look. They don't look fluid. Georgia Tech is not obvious. I mean they have a good quarterback. They have some talent, but Georgia Tech obviously does not have the same talent as Clemson does, and it's very evident. And Georgia Tech looks like at any moment they can get back in the game with like two quick scores. Honestly, so
Yeah, it's
it,
14 right now. I think also part of that, even in the NFL, is the tackling. They don't allow teams to tackle.
the
You
same,
know,
right?
that as you're going up the start the season, they don't. I mean, I don't remember the exact way they do it, but they don't let you tackle as much. So
Right.
that a little rusty.
Well, and then you gotta hit people a certain way now too. So it's like if you're cutting down on the amount of people, like the amount of time people can hit each other, and then you're making it more difficult. Like you're making the target area smaller and smaller. It used to be from head to toe. Now it's from probably like thigh to chest. You
Yeah,
know, and you got dudes shaking. You're trying to move. You're making a defensive player's job even that much more difficult.
and as
But
an offensive player, you're moving that target, and that's on the dime. That's tenths of a second. Even faster. You're changing that
right.
target.
Right.
But I
Like,
think also.
okay,
Oh, go
the
ahead.
worst part is when the wide receivers are dropping down for passes low because quarterbacks are throwing low, trying to avoid the hit. And then it just brings it right into the defender, and the defender
Yep.
cleans his clock. You see
Yep.
that all the time. And it's like, yep, he's out of the game. And it's
Yeah.
usually one of the best players on the team out of the game.
Yeah. But
And
I think also it's been around to the point to where over the probably the next 5 or 6 years, I think it'll start to become like really normal. You know what I mean?
right,
Because these kids, when they start like really started this was probably middle school, elementary school, and now they're being brought up. So over the next 5 years, I think those rules will start looking better. Anyway,
you'll see a change.
yeah,
Because I could tell you, like for like my era to adjust to the rules of the NFL, like you could see like the Brandon Merriweathers, those guys, they were just getting fined every week. It was like
yeah,
I'm better off not playing. I'm not
yeah.
getting the checks anyway. You
Yeah, you
know,
couldn't have a Brian Dawkins, a Running Lott, or John Lynch in today's game.
Sean Taylors, you
Uh,
couldn't have the, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't have the Landrys. For I think it's Deion Landry or whatever after Sean Taylor was in Washington. But you couldn't just have those headbusters, man. Those Bob Sanders, like those guys,
yeah,
just
yeah,
it was those who were dying breed now. Now you have like the more athletic, you know, like corner type of safety. Really, you have like a ball hawk that tackles well in space. You really have corners playing safety now. They're just tall
yeah,
corners, and they're put at safety because they can play the pass very well.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's where the NFL wants it to go, but it's trickled down to college, and you can see the effect of it. I just don't know if I don't know if Florida can. I don't know if Florida can really compete when it comes to passing. That's the thing. I think Miami can. I think that's the difference. Miami, I believe their quarterback has a better scope of the passing game. Um, This is my personal opinion, though. That's why I would probably take Miami out of all the teams.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, I think the lesser, in my opinion, is Florida State at the moment.
Oh,
Um,
definitely, 100%.
Florida, I think, like I said, just overall, they've had the best football over the last 2 or 3 years. But I just got to see Miami, man. I'm a big Miami fan, so right now I got to see it to believe it. Right now, we've been down in the dumps for a hot little minute, and we had a couple little, we've been beating Florida State. I think last year they beat us. I can't remember, but it's just one of them things, man. I just got to see it to believe it. Just knowing the dominance that they had for so long, it was that Alabama type, almost Alabama type dominance we had for a hot little minute, and then that fire has dwindled.
Well, Mario Cristobal, man, I think he's the difference maker. I think
Yeah,
he's a great coach. Great coaches make a difference. Like even with Notre Dame, when we lost this game to Ohio State the other day, that's a completely different looking Notre Dame team. Like that team is prepared. Even if Marcus Freeman doesn't necessarily have his guys that he wants to be on the field right now because they're too young, you know, even the guys that he has out there, they look prepared. Um, you know, they weren't necessarily maybe on the same talent level as Ohio State, but you didn't see the difference. Like that didn't show. You
what
know,
was the final score over there?
it was 21-10.
Ohio State won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like the quarterback, he had under 250 yards passing, and he only had 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And this kid just threw for like a 500, almost 600 in a bowl game last year. So
yeah, it's gonna.
it's a different team, and it's early in the season, but I think both teams played pretty well. It's just they played a little bit better, and they played better in the fourth quarter, and that happens. But just like with Miami, I think even when Miami does see somebody that's worth on the same talent level, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah,
They're going to be well coached. Mario Cristobal is going to have them prepared. You know, so we'll see.
yeah.
I'm
I think
excited.
I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure we don't play Florida this year. I know we play Florida State November 2nd, I believe it is.
Well, we'll
Um,
have to might have to go see
but yeah.
that.
So what do you think about the college playoff system, the way it's currently constructed?
I actually like it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I like it because to be honest with you, there's not 8 to 12 teams that are going to be able to compete for a title. You know what I'm saying? Like when you make it a tournament style like system at the end of the year, where it's like the NCAA tournament now, injuries are going to play such a factor in
yeah, definitely.
whether people, who wins, and that's where I think like you still make it to where Alabama, a Georgia, a Notre Dame, a USC, the teams that are deep, they're still going to be the top teams. Like
Yeah,
the top teams are going to be the top teams. You don't need to have 8, 6, 12. No, four is perfect because there's only probably four teams in the country that are competing for a national title every year, and that's just the reality of it.
I
So
agree to a certain extent. I think it should be 6 teams. The first 2 teams, 1 and 2, get a bye. I don't think that really messes. Whoa, hold up. Whoa,
did
whoa,
you just lose
whoa.
power?
Yeah, hold on.
I
That was messed up.
I thought I just lost power too.
Oh, now we're back. Dog. I don't know what happened, but I
I
think.
just lost power too, man. That's crazy.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I think 1 and 2 have a bye. 4, 5, and 6 play. I don't think it messes with the schedule. You're not adding a game. It is you. Well, maybe you are adding. Are you adding a
Well,
game?
even if you're gonna have to add games regardless. So if you're adding one game instead of like maybe 2 or 3, I think that's a big difference.
No, I don't think you're adding. You might be adding 1 game. You may be adding one. I got to think about it. But I think that's perfect. I don't think it should be. I mean, somebody worst case scenario 8, but I don't think it should be 8. I think it should be 6. If you can't make that top 6, what I'm saying, go play some other bowl. They got the potato chip bowl game now. So
Yeah, I just don't think what people think like, okay, yo, yeah, my team made it to the top. Like do people think Notre Dame made the college football playoff twice in the last what, like 6 years? Do you think like Notre Dame fans really give a fuck? Like, no, we don't care. We lost.
Yeah, he
Like
lost.
it's about winning it.
About
Like
win.
making the college football playoff does not matter. Like, oh, I mean, I guess it helps with your recruiting and your marketing, whatever. But I don't mean shit. Like you got to win it. So it's
Yeah.
like I think six is like the highest I would go because I mean six would be just I think six is stretching it because like I said before, I think there's only four teams that can win a championship every year in reality. But
Well,
because you got to look at the competition.
I think it also allows, sometimes like Alabama have one loss or something like that, or two losses, or whatever team. It gives them the opportunity. Okay, well, and then sometimes some hot teams come up, you know what I'm saying, towards the end of the season. It'll give
Right.
those teams a little opportunity to be like, all right, we hot now. A one loss team. I'm not talking about a three-loss team or nothing like that, but we're hot now. So give us that opportunity. We might give you the sixth spot or fifth or sixth spot, and then the one and two, they relaxing anyway. You know what I mean? And then or it also gives the opportunity. Sometimes you got your top four, and they'd be like, "Well, Alabama lost to such and such last week, and they're still in the top four." No, we'll put them at number six or number five, and let them play their way through to
Right.
be win it all. That's where I
Right.
get six
Like
from.
last year when they lost to like Texas A&M, it's
Yeah,
like okay, no, well now y'all have to, and they had a couple of games that were close last year towards the end of the season. It's like all right, well hold on, let's go ahead and put you at six and make you play, not get the bye, and then see how
yeah,
you do. Run the
exactly.
gauntlet. Like not make Georgia run the gauntlet, make Alabama run the gauntlet, and it's not really a gauntlet because there's only four teams, so they all
Yeah,
play each other, but still, it's a different matchup.
yeah.
Would
I, I,
probably would have made a difference, but it's the principle of it in a sense.
yeah. If anybody outside that top six or top, look, we ain't even having that discussion. This ain't
Right.
basketball. You know what I'm saying? We not even having that discussion outside of the top six.
I
You know?
wonder how they got to 8 games. I mean, 8 teams. I wonder how that came about because there's definitely some type of financial value behind
Oh,
eight.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
it's got to be some type of a financial thing with like TV deals or something because 8 teams to me is just there is not 8 teams that can win a championship this year.
Yeah,
I don't
that's not
see it. I've
definitely not
watched
going to
all
be
the
a
games.
common thing. It might happen once in every 15, 25 years or something like that. But I'm like you. I don't see a number 18 winning it, and I don't see a number 18 deserving of winning it. Um, but it
Maybe
may
in
happen.
2025, 2026, when they actually expanded to 8 teams, and like we said, Miami, Florida State's good, Notre Dame's good, Alabama, Georgia, like LSU. Maybe it's like if it's like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, like if all those teams are recruiting well and doing good in recruiting, like maybe we may see maybe see a year that is deep like that. But that is so like that is dreaming, like that.
Yeah,
That's like that's that's like college football heaven for everybody,
yeah.
and
Oh
that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
not realistic, you
But
know.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like you though. Four or six. I'm good with six. I don't want to see eight. I don't want to get watered down like the NCAA tournament. That probably even should be cut down almost. But there's so many more basketball teams in the country than there are football teams too.
Right,
So
right. Well,
that makes a little bit
and then
more.
like any team, like any good college basketball team can make the NCAA tournament for
Yeah,
the most part, as long as they're like FCS. So it makes it a little bit difficult to like
yeah,
do that. But with college football, it's different too. Players get injured. It's more physical. So that's another thing you got to think about the physical damage that on the players' bodies in a sense. You're adding more wear and tear,
yeah.
so
Well, a lot of them players now, if they're not playing for the national championship, they're like, I'm not even playing the bowl game. Period. You know what I mean?
exactly.
I'm saying myself, saving myself for the next level for the NFL. But
As
I
they
think they're
should.
just watering down every sport now. Baseball, you play 182 games, and now you got to play in game. Basketball, you got to
Oh God.
play 82 games. You got to play in game. It's dumb. You
Even
know
with
what
the College World Series, I didn't know they played that many damn games, man. I
I
was
mean?
following Notre Dame. They made like the College World Series, and then I figured out like there was 8 teams in the College World Series before you. So you had to, run that gauntlet before you even made it to the actual championship game to play 7 more games. I'm like, this is crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
that's baseball. Baseball, they don't care. You got
I'm like,
33 pitchers.
and I realize why these baseball teams, these MLB teams don't want you to go to college. They rather you just come, train with them because you
Yeah.
put so much wear and tear on your body before you make the league, man. And you have to wait till you're like what? I think if you go to college, you have to wait 3 years or something like that, or two. Like there's a rule, something like that. You have to wait a certain amount of years before you can even declare. So,
But
yeah, I think it's crazy adding games.
baseball, I wonder how have they always played 162 games? Because the
I think it's
sport to me,
182.
huh?
I think it's 182.
I think it's 162.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
162.
But they play so many games. I'm like, is it for revenue? Is it just for all? Because baseball for the most part is getting the most money. Now
Right.
basketball is kind of catching up, but you only have 15 people on the team compared to baseball. I don't even know how many you got on the team. Got probably 20 something because you got so many pitchers, the
Yeah.
closer, then the regular people. You know what I mean? So I feel like they play so many games just to get the revenue up and keep the revenue up, I should say.
Right. I
But who
think
knows?
so too. Well, and they probably make their money different. I think they probably make their money more off the actual games itself, and maybe not so much off the television. You know what I'm saying? Like they make
Yeah.
their money in the parks, so then they have to have those games to keep the
And then
revenue,
also they don't have a
generated.
salary cap either. So
Yes, just like soccer. It's the same similar thing like soccer. There's not too many players on that actual like majors roster. I mean, you may have like maybe 25 guys at the most, 30 guys. Compared to football, you got like 53 players, and you got to pay a lot more of those players higher money.
uh,
On baseball, you don't have to pay every guy a boatload of money. Like only the top guys really get paid pretty well. So,
then you got I wonder what the league minimum is.
oh no,
That's
triple
free.
A, double A guys. I mean, unless you're drafted in the first round, man, you're not really guaranteed
No, I was
like
talking
good
about the
money in
football.
baseball. Oh, football. Oh,
Then they
I
got
mean, if
the
you're a practice squad guy, I think you make like 300K,
yeah.
a week. I mean, that's still good money though. I mean,
They're good. I mean, now if you leave it up to old girl, then that's not enough money. I think she was making 200. Talking about
oh,
Brittany.
oh Lord. Well, LeBron James makes more than the whole WNBA
Yeah,
combined, so it's
certainly
kind of.
so.
But you see, them female soccer players, they just got paid.
Yes, they did, and I think they could have ended up getting paid more. I remember hearing a story how they actually messed it up, but I think as long as you bringing in the money, you should get paid. If you're not bringing in the
Yeah.
revenue, it is what it is. And I think the females, because Shaq said he asked Candace partners like, should y'all lower the goal to 9 foot? And she got like, you know, like felt like she was disrespected basically. I'm like, yes, that would be great for girls to lower the goal to 9 foot. You can actually see and so a lot of them still couldn't dunk, but you can see a lot more. She said, I guarantee my next daughter be able to drop step and dunk. I'm like, come on, man. Let's be for real.
That's
Uh,
crazy. I mean, I see like there's a lot of girls like learning to dunk and run and jump dunk and stuff like that. But I
you know,
think if you can add some type of excitement by dropping it like an inch down, like why not just do that? That way you can bring some type of like if you can bring more eyeballs to your sport, why not do that? As
I,
long as it doesn't mess with their integrity, like having to like undignify themselves by wearing like skimpy stuff on TV, then I'm all for it. Like
I think they should bring it down the whole foot, man. A whole foot.
I don't see why not. I don't think it has to be too much because you do have girls that are like what 6'8", 6'9". I mean, as long as you make it to where the average center can drop step and dunk without any issue, I think that will be
Yeah.
big for the sport because
Yeah, I
then
think
you're gonna have
that's
some
good,
girls that are athletic.
measure right there.
Yeah, I think because that way you have any girl that's athletic and can jump, she can go and probably dunk a basketball now.
Yeah.
Like power forward, small forward, she could probably go dunk, not just the centers now.
And you'll get
So
occasional, you know, somebody else dunking occasionally on a fast break or something like that.
make it
I think,
exciting.
and they want to be able to get the revenue. If they lower the goal, I'll actually sit down and watch a few games to see how it go. I mean, no disrespect, but I don't.
It's dumb. Don't get me wrong. I actually like the WNBA. I actually watch games.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a lot of talented women that play that could probably that there's some of those women are actually better than NBA players in the NBA. You know, and I say that, but I believe that wholeheartedly. Um, it's just they don't have primetime hours for their games. Their games are usually running with some other sport to compete with. Usually a
Aren't
male
they right
sport.
after the NBA season start? Their season start right or something.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that
end the NBA end or something like
yeah,
that.
and it's just not ideal because then you're competing with like what baseball and what else? Uh,
Then I mean, not to mention also, um, they only play what 30, 40 games or something. They
yeah,
play
it's a
almost
short
like a
season.
college schedule. So you're gonna say that's not even enough games to make LeBron James money. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
there won't that's what they're gonna make. One, not many people watch it, and then two, you're not playing as many games. So you're not even putting the product out there for people to view. You know?
yeah. It is exciting the way they have it formatted though, because like I think the first round it's like single elimination, and then like the second round is like I think it's
So
like double or
one
something like that.
so first round of the playoffs, the best one team win.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you get bounced out in the first round, which is sick.
Yeah.
But it makes it interesting. It makes it very interesting. You
Yeah.
can't come out and slouch and take any games off. You know, like in the NBA, you see it all the time. Like LeBron will come out, blow game one, and be like, "All right, I'm gonna turn up the rest of the series." It's like, now you blow game one, you out of the
Yeah.
playoffs. Like,
Playoffs, yeah.
so it's a different atmosphere, and it's very competitive. Like them women are very very competitive. They talk shit to each other. Like it's interesting to see. I think if anybody, hasn't watched a WNBA game, go check it out. Diana Taurasi, there's some good ones out there. Sue
Yeah, but
Bird, Skylar
she's been
Diggins.
around, I feel like since I was in high school. I
Yeah,
know
no,
she's been
she
around
she's
that
been
long.
around for a while. I
Uh,
think she was drafted the same year as Kobe,
yeah. So
something
they
like that.
damn.
Yeah, something
She's
like
still
that.
playing?
I think she's gonna retire here within the next year or two.
Oh,
Her and Sue
that
Bird.
96.
Yeah,
I think it was.
yeah, long time.
Ooh.
She's been in the league for a while.
Yeah, they need to some kind of way. I don't know how, but they need to market these women. I
I think attach it to the NBA more. You know.
yeah, something because people watch the NBA. Obviously, I don't. Unfortunately, don't watch the WNBA. I don't find the excitement in it, but maybe I'm missing something. But hey, I just don't.
It's pure basketball. It's like watching Golden State play. It's
Yeah,
it's a lot of fundamentals, um, and yeah, it's a lot of just based off like skill. And like I'm saying, like the athletes aren't the same as like NBA players. Obviously, they're not the same breed of athletes, so they're not going to do everything. But there's some girls that do have the ability to go in there and give
so
some
you
NBA players some buckets. Like Cameron
watch it.
Payne, Cameron Payne barbecue chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're being real, like Patrick Beverly, yeah, cook them.
Yeah, so we watching a bunch of Tim Duncans out there, Mrs. Fundamentals,
That's
so to
where the
speak.
that's where the game lacks. I'm gonna be real. Is the center play like you miss out on the highlight dunks and alley oops and stuff like that. And that if they can get the forward play better and more athletic and more exciting, I think that's when their league will take another step. But all their they're big women down there, the centers, they're heavy footed.
Yeah,
Not saying they're good. Like Candace Parker's probably one of the most athletic right now.
yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know,
a, it's a, it's definitely from what I've seen a guard game when it comes to um the female basketball WNBA
hundred
because
percent.
and then you have every once in a while the Candace partner the
Tina
Brittany
Charles.
Griner who can dunk and that brings a little excitement, but it's like one or two a season or something like that. You
Well,
know,
and then the centers and stuff like it's usually like you have teams where this one center is just completely better than the other,
yeah,
or just dominates the other, and then it's based off just the guard play. It's like if you have the better guards, you're more than likely going to win the game. That's just usually how it works. So it needs to develop in the forward play for sure. They need to get more exciting there, and I think lowering the goal, like you said, that's probably their best option. It's not a
Yeah,
a slight to them. It's not a slight to Candace Parker. You were great, on the 10-foot rim, but
yeah.
to move your sport forward, maybe the people behind you have to play on a lesser rim. I'm not saying they're not as talented. It's just to help them make more money,
To
so
bring
they
the
don't
more.
have to go overseas to go play.
Yeah,
You know,
get home.
like
Yeah.
they're complaining about that, man. And it's like, okay, well, make your league better, and then you don't have to go overseas to
I
to
would.
get paid better.
If anybody ever watched this video, I would definitely watch if they lowered the goal to 9 foot or something.
Yeah,
9.5, 9.5. I would definitely watch 100% just to see the difference in play. I would like to see, let's say let's say they did lower the 9 foot. I would like to see like people just going out there to play. They playing by themselves, but just showcase what they can do, what they can't. Layups, package, the ability to dunk. What it would look like. What am I getting excited for, so to speak. Um,
right.
and I would definitely watch. I give it a whole season. You
Yeah.
know,
Can they
uh,
not shoot 40-foot threes because it's an inch? It's a whole foot lower. Like
yeah.
stuff. Like, are you gonna see people like and they do pull? I'm not saying them girls do shoot like that now.
One girl be pulling though. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
there's a no. I'm saying there's a few women. There's like maybe 10 women in that WNBA that pull like that. They got triggers like that. But I'm saying, like, would you see that expand if the rim dropped down a foot? Would they
Yeah,
be able to now? You have now 30 women that can shoot like that. Make it more competitive. So that's what I want to see. I'm trying to say I agree with you. I can't disagree with you on that. I don't know why she's offended. I don't think it's a slight. You know, but if you don't want to do that, then you got to figure out another way to make some remedy for your sport. And
the money.
there's no
Yeah,
marketing. There's no marketing for it. So
none at all. Not really.
like you don't see it. Like you see a couple commercials, during like NBA games, and that's really about it.
Yeah. But we're gonna jump back into a little college football here, really quick.
Ooh,
We
let's
got
get it.
Jackson State. I don't know what's his name. I can't even say the dude's name. Dion's
Shadur.
yeah, 5 touchdowns. I think he was 17 for 17 at one point in the game. And Jackson State put it on FAMU. Obviously, I don't know, is FAM that terrible or if Jackson State. I know they're going to be up there when it comes to the what am I trying to say, the HBCUs. They're going to be one of the better teams. But could they compete against maybe a lower level? Uh, what they could Power 5 team, or I mean, I think it's too early to say, really. But what you think?
I mean, it depends what they got in the trenches. You know.
Well, that's what Dion said. Dion said, "No, we're not ready for somebody like Alabama, but maybe a lower, maybe somebody like I don't know who was a who can I think of? I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
like a
yeah. Dion said you ain't gonna get
USF,
me. He's like, you ain't
huh?
gonna get me. Look, let's go and get out there looking stupid because
Yeah."
I ain't got what I need up front.
He said the skill positions were there, but when it comes to the in the trenches, the big lineman, D lineman, O lineman, he said, "No, we're not there yet." But I
Well,
mean, somebody
yeah,
like USF, UCF,
I like that. I think he should. I think he should compete with a lower FCS team. I won't even say go for a school like that yet. Not even say go for FSU because FSU, even
no,
though they're
not
not
FSU,
there,
USF and Tampa.
I think USF, UCF. I think those are two good games.
Yeah,
Um, I think something like that is more along a Rutgers, um,
yeah, that's what I mean.
something
I
like
did say
that.
Power 5, but I didn't mean to say Power 5.
No,
But
yeah, I know there's no problem going with like a Big Ten conference opponent, but just not like a top opponent, maybe like more like a mid-level opponent,
yeah,
Pac-12, because it's only going to help his recruiting if he wins, and even if he competes, it's only going to help his recruiting because he'll get a
yeah,
lot more of those D1 transfers. Like if he can get a lot more of those D1 offensive lineman transfers, then you will see him playing FSU, you know, uh, Florida,
yeah.
Miami. He might try to schedule, some SEC games. He might take on Brian Kelly at LSU since they're looking pretty bad. He
You
might
know,
he might get them on the
see,
schedule.
I seen some of the other, probably a couple years ago. It said one of them smaller teams had to pay the bigger team to play them. I don't know if that's a normal thing or what,
Well,
but
Notre Dame is going to play Texas, whatever, the school that Eddie George coaches, which is HBCU. We paid them $1 million to come play. So
Notre Dame paid them.
we paid them to play.
Oh, I
So
thought the other way.
the bigger schools have the money, so they pay people to come play them at their stadiums.
Oh
That's
wow,
usually how it works. Yeah. So when you see Alabama playing these BS schools, FCS schools, and they're playing them at home and they're giving them a whomping, they're paying them to come take that ass with them.
yeah,
Millions of dollars, right? And those schools use that to put into their, support to put into their programs, which normally gets dispersed through all the sports programs, which because it's a small school. Uh, so like with the HBCU, Eddie George basically came over there. Marcus Freeman and him went to school at Ohio State. He finessed, Jeff Swarbrick into giving him $1 million to come play, and it'll be a lot of attention for HBCU, which I don't have no problem with, and they're getting money. So I don't have a problem with it. I can't really hate on that, but I think if we could have scheduled someone else, it'd have been a lot better. Like if we could go for like a big like a Power Five program on the schedule, I would rather that. But I can't hate on the move.
yeah. But so your boy, like I say, he look. Once again, I don't know how good. I mean, fam, I don't think it's that good. But then, I mean, they put up what 70 points almost. Um,
Oh yeah,
so it's going to be
yeah.
interesting to see how well he plays against better competition. Anyway,
Well,
I
the
don't know.
competition is not going to get that much better, so it's like he probably has the best team in his whole conference and everything like that right now. So it's like see how they do.
Yeah,
They
but
look
I
great, man.
wonder where they get some. Did they play on TV yesterday?
Yes, they have their games televised too. Some of them, so it's
Okay,
kind of crazy,
that's
and then
good.
you can stream them too.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. But
Yeah,
that's going to
so
be interesting to see how Jackson State. I mean, yeah, I think everybody's rooting for Dion. Um, but Dion gets the notoriety over Eddie George. I do now that you say that, I do remember him going to some SBCU, but I don't know what team it is. One, and then two, he's not getting that notoriety that Dion. But Dion is Dion, obviously. You know what I mean? So he gonna get that. But I think Dion should probably try to help. Well, maybe he just got to get his own program off the ground, and then
right.
probably promote some of these kind of like Eddie George and whoever else is out there.
Well,
Um,
Tennessee State is actually where Eddie George is at.
Tennessee,
That's what.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Tennessee
that'll
State.
be interesting, man. I hope he can get some notoriety too. Just put the spotlight on these smaller schools, these black colleges, universities, and get some recruits out there. I mean, Eddie George wasn't a slouch in the league either. I mean, he wasn't no
Yeah.
Dion, but he wasn't a slouch.
Well, Tennessee State's going to be on TV, I think, within the next couple of years on another damn schedule. So if
Yeah,
that'll help them, if that don't give him some notoriety and help him get some recruits, then
yeah,
I don't know what will. Uh, I mean, I get it. I mean, we give all these other schools, TV time, so it's like why not give it to some HBCUs? So I think that's a pretty cool thing that we're doing. You know, I don't know. I can't really hate against that. I
yeah.
think Dion though. I think he's building something dangerous down there.
I think.
In Mississippi, man. I think he's because the way he gets these transfers in every summer, he's getting them hogs. He don't have enough of them yet, but he's getting them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
and that
think it's
kid
only
he
going to
just
go up. It's only going to
that
go up.
did you see the tight end he just put into the league? He's getting a bunch of praise. It's like
Nah, I didn't see.
oh yeah, man. He's putting some players in the league now that are getting some praise and stuff and doing pretty well. So it's going to be pretty interesting. He's making some noise down there in Mississippi.
Yeah, who better to learn from, especially if you're playing a DB. But he has connections also at the next level. I'm pretty sure, and can get the people out there to see him. He's already out there, and they say if you're there, if you're good enough, they're going to see you. So just having Dion's name attached to it, they're going to watch some of those players and hopefully get them to the next league. The next level.
He has now a combine for HBCUs
Oh shit!
and a senior bowl for HBCUs now. That's something that he had in the works to make sure that the talent
Really
at the
good.
HBCUs were spotlighted. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no reason for kids not to go to HBCUs now because you're going to get the same opportunities that you were getting if you went to a Power Five school. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
may
didn't.
not be on TV, but you're still getting the same scouts. You know what I'm saying? You're still getting the same. Everything's the same. You're just not being televised on like the combine and everything like that.
Yeah,
But it's like it's the same shit. You're getting the same NFL scouts, the same executives. You know,
so
so
he damn, I ain't know all that. So he really putting it together to get that notoriety. I obviously I like that, love that. I like to see him do well. What's his name on the pivot? Shannon Shannon.
Channing Crowder.
Yeah. He talked trash, cash, money.
Oh,
Nobody ain't gonna go to no HBCU and all talking all kind of trash. Yeah. Uh, I think it
that's
was last
crazy.
year. That might have been when he was with I Am Athlete though. But
That's crazy.
yeah, he was talking cash money trash.
I
Nobody
don't
ain't
know
gonna
why
go
people
watch
think
it.
that, man.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's
like you said, and like this which is a brilliant idea of having the combine, the senior game for the HBCUs, and I mean Dion put that on. I didn't even know that, so I definitely want to check into that whenever that rises, and
and,
you can see
and
it.
once that starts getting televised and everything, and I think it's not even just like HBCUs. I think it's like lower level, like
Uh,
like lower level college athletes in general too, just to like bring more of a, you know, just to bring more notoriety to it and everything. And like once it starts getting televised and like they start putting it on TV and everything, like it's gonna be big. Like you're gonna see a big blow up in kids going to HBCUs. Like even when you follow recruiting now, you see Jackson State and some of these 4 and 5 stars, you see them like in their top fives. It's like damn, like all right, so Dion's really down there making some moves, man. Like he's
yeah, and
he's
Nick
he's out
Saban,
here recruiting top players.
Nick
Yeah,
don't.
Nick
Well, he
Saban
didn't like
crying.
the money. He didn't like the money.
So
Uh,
what's funny though? So you remember we touched on that Nick Saban thing back in the day,
yeah.
not too long ago, how he came out and he was doing all that whining to his boosters. So it's funny that before that, Alabama didn't have a top 10 class in the country. Their class was top 15, maybe or whatever. They weren't in the recruiting for a lot of the top recruits, right? After he made that little whiny crybaby thing, maybe a month after that, you looked at Alabama's recruiting. They were in the top five for maybe the top 20 recruits. You know what I'm saying in the nation, and then they were just landing big recruit after big recruit after big recruit.
So is that the product of bad publicity is good publicity, or
And
what?
then no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because then they did a ranking of the top NIL programs in the country, and guess who was ranked in the top 10?
What was that? Notre Dame.
Alabama.
I
No,
meant no.
Alabama.
I meant to say Alabama.
Yep,
Yeah.
they were ranked number 10. From being not even having an NIL, none of that shit. They went from nothing to top 10, rated
Yeah.
top 10 in the country. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah. That do a
to
whole
me,
show
it's
about
just
that.
funny.
Yeah,
It's
that
the
is fun.
money. He did a money play, and then he threw Deion Sanders, who
On
was at
the
a HBCU, under the bus to get his money from his boosters, and I think that's a
uh,
lame move. That just shows that he was feeling threatened, and that is what it is, man.
oh, okay. That I mean, well, I guess that's a smart move then on
Yeah,
his
I mean
behalf.
it's a smart
Yeah,
move. It's a dirty move,
a dirty
but
move, but a smart move.
it could have blew up in his face though, because if Dion was nasty, he could have, basically emptied out the skeletons in that closet. Like Dion said, I know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, I know who was dropping off the bags.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dion could have aired him out, but he didn't. He just left it alone.
yeah.
And Nick Saban apologized, but it's like
It was
that's a
probably the
dirty
right thing
game.
to do by Dion, unfortunately, because I want to know.
Yeah, I know. I would want to know. When he said that, I heard him say that. I'm like, damn, bro, I would really like to know what skeletons Nick Saban got buried in the closet. I know he got them.
Oh yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I know.
definitely,
I know he
definitely.
got them.
I'm pretty sure there's some players in the league that got paid under the table, just like
Well,
at some of these other big schools.
Sua Cravens, who went to USC, was the first round pick from Washington. Actually went to Washington, which is crazy. Played for the Redskins, which is my favorite team. But he actually said that the Alabama recruiting pitch is $20,000 in a scat pack.
That's cat
That
pack.
he said that's what they pitched him when he was getting recruited, 20,000 in a scat pack. That
Yeah,
price went up now. That 20,000 in the scat pack ain't working. Nick
yeah,
Saban had to go ahead, and he had to go ahead and hit up his boosters for some money, and wanted to throw a black man under the bus to do it.
yeah.
Not surprised, man.
Use them to do it. Yep.
And kids, I don't know how kids don't look at that, and parents don't look at that and be like, yeah, I don't think I want to trust my son with someone that's just going, what I'm saying, to
Yeah,
to to get what he wants. He's just going, step on the next person. Where you don't gotta do that. You can go get your money for your booster just talking to him. Your Nick Saban.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think. I mean, we ain't gonna go into it, but the whole country is just so many things are just going. Like, how did that happen? How did that happen? You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think almost a normal thing right now.
I don't think he knew what he said when he said it. When he was talking about Jimbo and Dion, I don't think he understood the magnitude of what he said when he said it. I
I
don't
don't know.
think he understood how it looked.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you might be
Maybe
right.
how he said it then.
Yeah,
Maybe how he worded it. I don't think he understood how he said it.
yeah.
I think he meant to say what he said. He just didn't know how to
The,
make it come off without sounding like he was,
you-
trying to attack other people.
yeah, I feel you. So,
uh,
we I know this college basketball season, but we're gonna jump back into a little bit of basketball. Donovan Mitchell trade to the Cavs.
hmm,
Sorry to the Knicks. Man,
tough.
I heard Rick Brooker, however you say his name, on ESPN today was saying that basically, I know he was on I can't think of the man show, but anyway, he was saying that basically he thinks the Knicks got petty. Was talking about this trade all year, thinking they were going to get Donovan Mitchell, and basically the Jazz was being petty, so to speak, and saying that, and basically said, "No, you ain't getting them. We're gonna unless you give us all this crazy stuff." I think they wanted the young dude that played with Zion.
They want Cam Reddish.
Was it Reddish or the
Cam Reddish, yeah. Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett.
and RJ? Yeah. RJ Barrett and and somebody else and a whole
Yeah,
bunch of draft picks.
yeah, it was RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, and Obi Toppin. The Knicks didn't want to throw Cam Reddish in the deal
Yeah,
because you're not gonna take away one of our young guards that we think is a star. You know what I'm saying? And then take another young guard that we think is going to be a star too. It
yeah.
just doesn't work like that.
Can't have both of them.
Yeah, you can. You can't even really. I'm surprised they offered RJ in the deal. The reports were they offered RJ in the deal,
Yeah, they
but
did. They did at the end, supposedly.
then it wasn't enough. They wanted Cam Reddish plus all the picks, Obi Toppin, and one other player. The other player wasn't even that big of a deal. I thought the other player was
Yeah.
perfect. Let him go.
So how you think the Cavs? How you think the Cavs gonna come out this year? Definitely, they was in the playoffs last year, so they're definitely gonna be there this year.
It all depends on Donovan Mitchell. Like, he has to come out and understand, like, all right, they brought me here to be the centerpiece of a championship team. Like, they felt like I was the missing factor
Peace, yeah.
to them getting to a championship, and he has all the pieces around him. Jared Allen, he's got Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Kevin Love.
Be
He's got
surprised if LeBron got back to Cleveland. But anyway, go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Evan Mobley. But if LeBron goes back, Evan Mobley's gone, and then probably Isaac Okoro and all the draft picks, they're gone. The bench is gone too, so I would do
Did
that.
LeBron sign an extension?
Yeah, 2 years,
Oh, okay.
but he signed a player option though on the other year, on the last year, so he'll be in. He's locked up for 2 more
Yeah,
years and then a
and
play option.
yeah, okay. That'd be about time
Um,
for LeBron to get out of school and they go play in Cleveland.
yep,
With no,
and Bryce to be a first round pick.
they're only 1 year apart. What?
Bryce is playing varsity basketball.
Yeah, but what grade is he in?
He's a sophomore. But I'm
Yeah, so
saying, like, when Bryce is a senior, Bronny will be what in his first year of no, Bryce will be a junior going into his senior year.
yeah, so this year Bryce is great. His sophomore year.
I think he's a sophomore, yeah.
So
But
next,
you know how it is, bro. They can reclassify and all that.
Junior.
Yeah, ain't that. Yeah, he can become a junior. I'm not. And then you never know. Bronny is looking like he'll be like a 2-year college player anyway. So,
Yeah.
like, I think they'll both come into the NBA at around the same time, which will be
But
like
what I'm saying is,
2026.
I don't think the Cavs will have to give up anything because LeBron will have a player option. Then he just exit out the, out the contract.
That's his plan.
Yeah.
100%. That's his plan.
Yeah.
And that if the Lakers don't position themselves to be able to get both his boys, then they're going to lose LeBron James.
Yeah.
And getting both his boys may not be a bad option for the future of the franchise because one of them's bound to be pretty good.
I think Bryce be nice. I think Bryce
Bryce,
gonna be nice.
Bryce got game like Kevin Durant. Don't even
Yeah.
play like his daddy.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
He
Exactly.
don't play like his daddy.
Same
He
thing.
got his daddy's mindset, but he's got Kevin Durant's game, which is
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. I think the Cavs. Do they get out the first round with Donovan Mitchell? Do they get out the first? I mean, they got Jared Allen down there too. I think he
I like
might.
the Cavs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on Donovan Mitchell. It depends on because he's got to lead that team. Like I think
Yeah.
Darius Garland is a great number two, um, great point guard. Will be a great point guard, but I think it ends with you got to see what Donovan because
So,
Donovan Mitchell got to strap up too on defense. That's a problem for him. Like he don't play defense very well.
no,
For someone that is
I'm not a big fan of Donovan Mitchell. I was a big Wade fan, but they claim he's like a Dwayne Wade, and I
he
don't
don't
see
got
all
that
that.
he don't got
But
that type of dog in him on the defensive end. You remember seeing Dwayne Wade pull up the shorts, get in that defensive stance, and go to locking some people up. Like
yeah,
you don't see Donovan
I
Mitchell
mean,
doing
he is
that.
the leading guard and block shots too. He passed Jordan like his last year in the league. Yeah,
And I
so
think that's what you need out of Donovan Mitchell. You need him to be able to not only give you 25 points, but go ahead and hold his guy to like 15,
yeah,
14.
be an impact
Like
on Pennsylvania.
yeah, more than anything. And I think that's what hurt him in Utah. It's like you got a bunch of these guys that can barely move their feet, they're slow, and then you're not playing no defense either. It's like
Yeah,
how's that gonna work? You letting
I think
guys get free runs to the rim at Rudy Gobert. Yeah, he
yeah.
don't look like a defensive player of the year to me. He getting attacked.
I think both of them ended up in a better situation.
100%.
You know what I mean? I'm a
Rudy Gobert is gonna have to just play defense and catch a lot of passes. That's all he's
yeah.
have to do.
I mean, playing with Anthony Edwards, playing with Cat. I'm interested in seeing them play. I'm interested in seeing the Cavs play. So I think both of them came out better in this situation. And then that leaves what's your boy name? The point guard. That was
How is Rudy Gobert worth more than Donovan Mitchell?
I have no clue. Rudy
How?
Gobert to me is just
No offensive game.
oh my god, nothing, nothing. I
Man
don't
got
know.
size
Like a
21s and don't
Bill
know how to
Cot,
use them. Oh my goodness, just
like
terrible.
a
And he was
Bill
worth more
Cot.
than Donovan Mitchell, who scored 57 points in a playoff game. That's the
Yeah,
third most in a playoff game ever.
damn.
Just don't even make sense. Don't
Yeah,
even make sense. And he went for less value, in my opinion. Danny
yeah.
Ainge.
That's who the GM, Jazz GM is.
How you
Oh,
think they're making all these moves? How you think they just acquired like 10 picks?
well, he's always known to get a whole bunch of draft picks, though. I will say.
Well, he got 10 picks. He got two first overall picks that other teams drafted this year with Abachi from Cleveland and then Walker Kessler from whoever they traded from Minnesota. And then they got all the picks from Minnesota. They got all the picks from the Cavs. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I'm looking at what they got back. I'm like, yeah, they got themselves a nice haul. Like they have a team that can contend for like an eighth or seventh seed with no like true cut superstar on it.
Who's on the team? I got look. I don't even know who's on the team. They got
It's
what?
just a bunch of. It's just like a good team. Just a guys. A bunch of guys that are going to play good together.
Oh,
But there's
got
no.
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, they got. I mean, yeah, they kept the most of their core still though. But they're trying to trade all those guys too, so that the team will look
Yeah,
a lot different. but they're still like a seventh or eighth seed right now. It's
Yeah,
like which is kind of hard to believe. Um,
I don't know.
but
You
we'll
think?
see. I mean, it's weird, man. It's weird. He came in and gutted the whole team. They were talking about doing that for like 5 years. It never happened.
Yeah, never happened. But I think it was a good time. It was perfect time. That team wasn't going nowhere. They would have made the playoffs every year, third, fourth, fifth seed, fourth seed, whatever, and done nothing in the playoffs. So,
The team was
let's what
prehistoric. You got guys who could just shoot, can barely play defense, can't create their own shot really.
Conley,
Like I,
Michael Conley Jr. He's still on
uh,
the team,
yeah,
but
he's
he
still
ain't doing
there.
nothing. He stayed hurt
They're
too.
trying to trade him too. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to trade him, Clarkson. I don't know if Bogdanovich is there. I think if Ingles is there, they're trying to trade him. Like
Hello.
they're trying to get rid of everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You're back now though.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're trying to get rid of everybody on Utah right now.
I
They're
was
just
saying
trying to blow it up.
somebody was saying Michael Conley Jr. might go to the Lakers, but then that leaves them with 3 point guards. With
I don't know what the Lakers are. We fall so low
yeah,
we fall so low from about 4 or 5 years ago, man.
yeah. If
We
they
used
didn't,
to we used to have one of the most talented rosters in the NBA, and we just gave everything away because LeBron wanted to win a championship right now.
yeah,
It's like if I'm Rob Pelinka and I'm looking at LeBron James, and I'm like, man, I just got you on a 4-year deal. I got Brandon Ingram, I got Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? I got all this young talent here that are going to go help other people win championships because you want me to trade them for these older players who are on their way out. No,
injury.
thank you. I'm going to trade them for maybe a superstar player who's young, like Anthony Davis, but I'm not trading two of them in all my
Yeah.
draft picks. I may trade one of them in all my draft picks. Like we let Julius Randle go,
I
and
like
then
you.
he went to New Orleans on a 2-year, $18 million deal. We couldn't give him $9 million a year. We
Well,
could have gave it to him. They just decided to let him go. It's like what the. And then he went to the Knicks the year after,
yeah,
got a
he
max deal.
he would have been a good fit to play with Braun. Them, I think.
Lonzo would have been
Especially
a good
that part of
fit.
in his career. Now it probably wouldn't fit, but back then it would have been fit because he was so young, still learning and stuff like that from the game. So yeah, but
Nah,
they got Patrick Beverly. But if they would have had Conley, I think you could have done something with Michael Conley.
I like Patrick Beverly better because at least Beverly can play defense and like annoy some people. Conley's gonna get paid a lot of money to play mediocre, and that's cool and all, but
I don't know.
I'd
I think he
I'd
would have
rather
been better in a different environment because he was better when he was out there with Memphis, and then he came over here. I thought it was going to be a great fit with Mitchell, but I don't know what was going on. Um,
I, I just don't
well,
you
maybe it was
know
a good fit because LeBron going to dominate the ball as
that's
the
what I'm
point guard.
saying.
So yeah,
You
never mind.
I think it's a problem with the NBA now, and I think Golden State's going to reset that. You're going to see a lot of teams going back to not just positionless basketball, but they're going to go back to running actual like offensive
Offensive play.
offensive plays, offensive sets, and actually having like offensive systems in general. Have a base offense that you have, and everything in that, like the triangle, like going back to actually playing offensive schemes and having basketball players who know how to play within those schemes, because it's to the point where you're seeing it affect the game now and the
Yeah,
players. You
definitely.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
because Mike Conley should fit in well on that team, but
Yep.
because of the play style of that team, it doesn't work.
Not going to work. Yeah.
But then you see any player goes to Golden State and they come out and get a deal to go somewhere else because they play so great. Is
Yeah.
because the system is there already. You just have to come in and fit into the system. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Durant looked great in the system, got out of the system, hasn't won shit since. It and it's a lot. I think with the Lakers too, it's a problem. Like it's the Lakers. It's the same thing. Our system is based around LeBron James, and that
LeBron's,
just it just doesn't work. And I don't think it's worked his whole career. He's won like what 4 championships with it,
yeah.
but he's been to 11. So to say that it was
Probably really won
six,
2 with it because the Heat ran a system. You know what I mean? The Heat more so
that's
ran
true.
a system. So the
That's true.
two, one with Cleveland and one with the Lakers was more of a LeBron ran offense.
Right. I just don't. Well, I'm saying that's just the ones that he won. The ones that he lost, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's like So I won't put those ones in in Miami against him. But it's like so the other what 4 or 5 that he lost is like you could say that yeah he makes his teammates better, but does he truly make them better?
I
Because it
said
seems like he dominates the ball and he passes it in
three
positions to where
seconds up
like
the clock.
they got to shoot the ball. They
Yeah,
now have to make a dribble move, make a pivot move, a triple threat move, and then shoot the ball. Like that's all they can do. There's no
yeah.
time to really get into any type of rhythm, and they're not touching the ball
Jump
till late in
shots.
the shot clock.
It'd be great with a Clay. A Clay. LeBron and Clay would be great together. A Ray
That
Allen at towards the end of his career.
Shane
Um,
Battier, Rashard
yeah,
Lewis. That's what he had in Miami. He had nothing but
back.
3-and-D guys, and for
Yep,
a reason that worked. You know, like that's why him and Wade couldn't really play together the first year because they were trying to figure out how do we play him and Wade, and then Bosh to clog. Then they had Bosh playing a stretch five. Why? Because they couldn't have him clogging up the lane as a 7-foot power forward or 7-foot
yep,
center.
yep,
It's a system thing that worked for LeBron in Miami, but he didn't want to play a system. He wanted to play his own and be
yep.
the center of his gravity. It doesn't work. And you're seeing that with the Lakers. We've suffered since he's got there.
Yeah,
Like when he came there, me and my grandfather were very upset. We're diehard Lakers fans.
yeah,
And we said it then, and we knew right then when he came, he was like, we're gonna lose all of our players and all our draft picks, all that young talent that we just spent like 6 or 7 years to acquire to try to get back to a point where
once
we can have
they
a
up
dynasty.
too,
Yeah,
not making the
like
playoffs for 5, 6 years or whatever it was.
having like dudes like Ronnie Zachary and oh my goodness, Jordan Hill and
Yeah,
Jeremy Lin and Wesley Johnson. I went through those dog years to get back to where we had the Brandon Ingrams, the Julius Randles, the D'Angelo Russells, where we had young top
yeah,
talent that was just young, and we had to wait a couple years for it to mature.
sure.
And if we could have got the proper coach in there, we would have made some noise. If we could have got like a Steve Kerr,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
if we if
That,
we
that's
got
that's
if we could have got a Ty Lue,
yeah. Man, Ty Lue has become, in my opinion, definitely top 3 coaches in the league.
look at
What he
Terrence
did,
Mann. Terrence Mann came out of Florida State. Well,
yeah,
they didn't know what he was. They were like, yeah, he probably won't make team. Now the man's scoring like averaging 14 points per game and just got a second contract. Like
yeah.
you
I
know,
didn't believe in Ty Lue. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was just a LeBron thing, but I seen what he did with that team last year, and he jumped up on my radar. He jumped up on my scale.
had Reggie Jackson looking like an all star.
All star, yeah. That was crazy. So that man can coach. That man, top 3 coaches in the league. You ask me, and number
By
one,
by far, by far, you have to know how to develop talent and you have to know to actually coach in game. And that's something Ty Lue can do. If the Lakers could have did that with all the young talent we had, instead of getting these bum coaches, like who was the dude that we hired, the black guy? I forgot what his name is. He was so damn trash.
Ooh,
For the Lakers. Oh man, he played in the NBA too. I can see
on
his
Byron
face.
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Oh
I
God.
think that was his second time coaching. I think for the Lakers, maybe not, but
So bad. He was
yeah.
so bad. Like just terrible. And then who was the first one? Oh man, his dad
Oh,
played in the NBA. Oh, he coached for the. I don't know how he got coaching jobs too. He got coaching jobs just because of his family name. What's his name? He played with
Bill
Kobe.
Walton,
Luke Walton. Oh
Luke.
man, and I like him. I hate he had to go into coaching because I liked him as a person, as a basketball player, but just a hardworking guy. You can tell, but can't coach worth a shit. He literally is the reason why we had to trade Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and all of our young Kyle Kuzma. He's the reason because we wasted 2 or 3 years with him coaching,
Yeah,
and he was terrible. He didn't develop them at all. They didn't get any better with him.
Oh my God. Hold on. Thank you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you cutting off on me though.
Must be a power thing. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but that's weird.
That's like third or fourth time did it. It did that one time. I thought I hit the button, but I didn't. Whoa.
Yeah, when you were having problems, my shit started flickering too, man. You gotta keep your viruses over there, cat. Oh man.
I'm on the iPad, cuz. We're gonna get by.
Good.
Hey, last one though. Last one. You know, I'm pretty sure you've seen this, but look like Michael Jordan has gotten the last laugh, right?
Oh man. He didn't have to do it like that, boy. He hit him so close to heart. Oh
So
Lord.
Spotted, just so the audience will know on this playback. Spotted down in Miami was Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, was with Larsa Pippen on a date, on like a couple's date. And as we know, since the last dance, Pippen has been just going off the mouth at about Jordan, all the negative comments, and he was better than Jordan, and this, that, and the other. So my thing is, why he didn't go at Future like this was number one. Number two, Pippen said, I'll still hit that, basically, like a couple weeks ago. And now we see this man, Michael Jordan's son, with his ex-wife or current, well, I don't know what they are now. She still carried the name anyway. So that has to be that's a mic drop right there.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I just want to point out that this woman is tweaking. She watched this kid grow up. You feel me? So it's just a little weird to me. Like you watch this dude as like a 8, 9-year-old probably.
Years apart.
Yeah, like you watch this.
25.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You watch him as a baby. You feel me? So you were a grown woman when he was a baby. Like, what are we doing? Like, stop being messy. Why you being messy? But as far as Jordan goes, like Jordan definitely sent the young bull to go handle his business.
That's what I'm saying. I definitely see Jordan setting this up, and maybe
hey,
Lord,
I mean, 10 million. You knock Lars off. I give you 10 million.
Yeah, and I think it might be a play with all three of them. All three of them got together because she seemed like she hate Pippen. I feel like all three of them got together and just said, "Hey, let's make this happen. Make it go public." You know what I'm saying? I'll pay both of y'all. You know, he a billionaire, so
Jordan got the money to do it. So it's like, it's messy, but it's like, I can see it. Jordan's messy like that.
Yeah.
And you know he holds those personal grudges, man.
Oh
you
yeah.
know
Oh yeah.
Oh, you watch The Last Dance. This is nothing outside of the realm of what he would do. You know, so
if he wasn't married, I feel like he would have did it.
He probably took the picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He probably took the picture and sent it. He probably's like, yeah, my PR guy, hey, go ahead and link this to TMZ.
Yeah. Now, I don't think he took the picture, and people probably would have been crazy at that restaurant, but he probably hired the whole scene, you know what I'm saying, the photographer to go take the picture, or whoever took it.
Man, you see Marcus in there smiling and shit.
Oh my God, that's a mic drop.
I mean, Scotty, we got
that's
someone's mother. We gotta remember that's someone's mother. So we don't want to slander her.
Sit in politics over there. Said, "Art of war, destroy your enemy." Yes, that's a mic drop.
Emotionally destroy your enemy. It's like that man's heart is in his stomach.
Yeah. Well, because Pippen, I mean, what else can Pippen say? He done said just about anything, everything. And so Mike just wait to the end and just bang, bang, boogie. Bang. Hold up. That's the wrong button. Hold up. Got it. Bang, bang, boogie.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I love it.
fired! Shots fired!
I think so, man. I don't know. I don't know how Scotty's gonna bounce back from this. I don't think the only way that he could bounce back from this is if he takes a, I don't know if Jordan even has a daughter
Oh, he do.
I mean, he could try to get at the daughter, try to get at the mama, one of the BMs, but I mean, at this point, he would just be doing it because Jordan did it, and it wouldn't even hit the same. People be like, oh, he just spinning the block,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
yeah,
his
no.
daughter, I don't know, she married or about to be married, engaged, but sitting politics say he sent his son to hit on her. Yeah, we definitely already said that we think he
Sent the
paid
young
for the
bull.
whole.
Yeah, sent the young bull to complete the mission. He said, "I can't complete the mission. I'm gonna complete the mission."
And cut off on me again.
Damn, we were gonna do shots fired, but that's all right. We're gonna do shots fired.
Yeah,
But nah, man, Larson
creepy.
needs to get it together.
Who?
Larson needs to get it together, man.
Yeah, she do. Yeah,
Cause she's old, bro. She's like, she got to be at least 40.
42.
Or am I tripping? Oh no, she kind of young though. Never mind. She can go out there and I mean, she trying to use it before she lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know what happened. My thing just straight up cut off on me.
No way. Again?
Yeah, man.
Is that the roadcaster? That's wild. Yeah, my PS5 and my monitor cut off on me not too long ago, man. I ain't gonna
about to send it back.
send it back.
Yeah.
Where'd you order it from?
Amazon.
Oh yeah, they got a good return policy.
Yeah, got to be more careful.
Man, oh man.
I guess it's mad at me because I ain't used it in 2 weeks.
Scotty got to resort to violence to clear his name. Yeah, that's a fact. He's got to do something because I don't know how Scotty's going. His family name is tarnished between her just getting her back blown out by every basketball player and famous rapper.
Yeah. I'd say
Clemson is only 23-10 right now. That's terrible. Dabo keeps this up, he's going to be looking for a job, man.
Who, Dabo?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what happened, Cub, but I'm going to have to get off here, though.
All right, Cub. Well, I appreciate you inviting me on, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
Let me know next time we can get it in again.
Yes, sir. Will do. Appreciate you coming out. I hope everybody can hear me.
Check us out on Sitting Politic, Real Spill. Yes, we can hear you. You sound lovely.
Yeah, Sitting Politic. Y'all check them out. Real Spill, same thing. We always collab and doing things together. So, and then y'all go over there and subscribe to Gates Open Media as well. But we'll holler at y'all. And I'm
Publicly cockholding Scotty.
Huh?
Yeah, he said Sitting Politics said publicly cockholding Scotty. Good grief. Jesus Christ. Poor Scotty. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty don't know. He should have known who he was messing with.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Oh, man.
All right, man. I'll holler at you.
All right, y'all. Have a good night, everyone.
Peace.